Mitram and Bandhuvo, this is South Asia Maps educational channel. This is your presenter J. Reddy. We are continuing our exploration on Indian railway history and heritage at deeper level, not just listing the endpoints and some railway stations. So, we are talking about Howrah. This is the Hooghly Bhagirathi River, Howrah, a city adjoining Calcutta, the former British India capital, across Hooghly River, that is Bhagirathi River, which is a distributary of Ganga River. Howrah Bombay railway line. Excuse me for my allergy. There are three parts. There are three ways to reach from Howrah to Bombay. All are historically important. Via Allahabad, that is the first railway line British built, completed 1870. We talked about second railway line via Nagpur. Again, it has two branches. The first Nagpur, via Nagpur, that is Asansol here, the greener part. Second part, that is the Howrah Asansol Nagpur Bombay line we discussed in part 2. Part 3, much shorter line. Excuse me. That is Howrah KharagPur and Nagpur. So, that is the third part. Howrah Bombay railway line via Kharagpur, Nagpur. This is a very fascinating presentation. We see here the central provinces and Berar. Central provinces and Berar region, Berar division of central provinces, princely state of Bastar. This is the same thing. I am showing all the three parts here. That is the first railway line via Allahabad, second railway line mostly in the green part via Asansol, Nagpur, the third railway line via Kharagpur, via Nagpur, Kharagpur, Nagpur, Asansol, Nagpur. The third part, the Sepoy Mutiny broke down 1857. At the time, British has 200 miles of railway line. Even the 200 miles helped them a lot in protecting their domains in South Asia, domains. And so immediately within 2 years they built a railway line of around about 5,000 miles. They sanctioned, they completed by 1870s or so. When India was partitioned on the demand of Darul Islam Darul Harb by the Saiful Islams, that is the Ghazis like Jinnah and Liaquat Ali Khan, and Islamic gangsterism in the Indo-Gangetic plains, Congress leadership surrenders and parted them 5 subas, that is the Sindh and Punjab, Baluchistan, Khyber and East Punjab. When British left in India, there were round about 43,000 miles, among which the truncated India, partitioned India, balkanized part got 35k, west of Ravi, that is Radcliffe Line, and east of Bhagirathi Hooghly, Musalmans got 8,000 k. That is the Allah's land, Allah's paradise, Darul Islam. There are 4 railway companies involved in building this fascinating railway system. They are GIPR, Great Indian Peninsula Railway, that built this part, most of the part until Jabalpur here. Then the East India Railway that built most of the part from Allahabad up to Jabalpur. The East India Railway, GIPR Railway. Then 2 more railway companies built this part, that is the Nagpur Chhattisgarh Railway, that originally built a small part, that is the meter gauge. Later Bengal Nagpur Railway converted that meter gauge in broad gauge and built much of the remaining part. That is the Great GIPR, Great Indian Peninsular Railway, East India Railway, Nagpur Chhattisgarh Railway, Bengal Nagpur Railway were the 4 railway companies. The first line, that Allahabad line, was built in, remember, 13 years after Sipai meeting. Sipai meeting is 57, 13 is 70. This was built in 1870. That means Ganga Sagar, representing Howrah, Calcutta, was linked to Bombay. That is Sindh Sagar Ocean, Ganga Sagar Ocean, 1870. First line via Allahabad. Second line via Nagpur and Asansol to Howrah was built 20 years later. That is 1870 means 1890. Second line. After a decade, that means 10 years, third line was built. That is Howrah Kharagpur Nagpur line to Bombay. That is the point of discussion today. And we will discuss this later. The main diversification of this second line and third line comes here. In the Vanachal region, that is the Jharkhand province of today, that is the Chota Nagpur division of Bengal presidency of British India at that time. There is a railway junction called Sini, close to Sindh, close to Jamshedpur. From Sini, the second line went to Chandil, Purulia, Raghunathpur, Asansol. This is the main line. Asansol to Durgapur, Bardhaman, Pandua to Howrah. From Sini, other line, that is the point of discussion now. From Sini, other line went to Golmuri. There is I is missing here. Golmuri is nothing but a suburb of Jamshedpur. We can say Sini, Jamshedpur, Golmuri. Then Kharagpur, that is the very educational center. One of the 4 IITs were established at that time. That is few kilometers south of Midnipur district in the Burdhaman President's division of the Bengal Presidency. That is Sini, Golmuri, Jamshedpur and Kharagpur and Kolaghat. That means there is a Rupnarayan river. Finally, when the bridge was built crossing the Rupnarayan river at Kolaghat, the line was ready. That happened round about 1900. Remember, doesn't mean there was no railway lines were running. They were running until to the other side of the Rupnagar and from this to Kolaghat. Only after the bridge was built, gap at Kolaghat on Rupnarayan river, the railway, the entire gaps were filled. That's what we are talking about, 1900. So, the first line, Sipai Meeting 1857, 13 years later via Allahabad, that is the first line. Second line via Asansol Nagpur, that is 1890. The third line via Kharagpur Nagpur, 1900. We can go and look this fascinating, the third part. Mitram and Bandhum, we have a very interesting educational channel for you, South Asia Maps, bringing South Asian heritage to you in the form of maps, icons and images. I strongly request to Mitram and Bandhum, subscribe the channel and start commenting the videos which you liked, which you want to make improvements and which you want to look. And these are some of the 140 plus videos I have posted for your intellectual sojourn and pleasure, understanding South Asia, Mother Bharat at a very deeper level in the form of maps, images and pictures. we will talk about where the third part bifurcates from the second part. We are talking about now Nagpur branch. Nagpur branch, again two sub-branches. We have Purulia-Asansol, other one is KharagPur branch or Asansol branch. We can say in brief. We have Kolkata, this is the Hooghly, Bhagirathi river, the distributary, and we have Howrah will be somewhere here, and Howrah to Kolaghat, the railway line Kolaghat. This is the Rupnarayan river. Thus Rupnarayan joins Howrah Hooghly and the the Kolaghat region in the Rupnarayan. Then it goes to Debra and KharagPur. This is the KharagPur is in the Kasai river. That is across Midnapur. Midnapur will be somewhere here, few kilometers. So Midnapur, that is the Kasai KharagPur. From KharagPur, the railway line goes to, finally it has to go to Jamshedpur. It goes to Jharkhand, Jagram. It goes to Jagram. It goes to Ghatsila. It goes to Jharkhand. Ghatsila will be somewhere here. Then go to Golmuri, Jamshedpur. This is the Subarnarekha valley. This is the Dalma mountain ranges. From Golmuri, that you can say almost like Jamshedpur. And Sini, this is the place where the second part comes in. Sini, there is then the industrial city is called Sindh, somewhere here, that is a Kandra. The second part goes to Sini, Chandil and Purulia, and eventually goes to Asansol. You can see Asansol. That line was not, that is much lengthy, even though much shorter than Allahabad line. So they built this diversion from Sini to Sini Junction, Sini railway junction, that is Golmuri, Jamshedpur, Ghatsila, Jharkhand, and we have seen the Kharagpur and Kolaghat and Howrah. Just to a point of interest, from Sini to Chandil will be somewhere here. We have seen Chandil before. From Chandil, and other railway line goes to Ranchi. The Ranchi will be Ranchi, Chandil to Ranchi. That is the other part. We are not interested now. So we are at Sini railway junction, and we lost our Sini. Sini. Then Sini, this is the Arunachal region, Jharkhand region. This is the Kolkhan region, Singhbhum region. East Singhbhum and West Singhbhum, that is Purbi Singhbhum and Paschim Singhbhum. This is essentially southern part of Arunachal region, and it goes to Chakradharpur, Jamshedpur, Golmuri and the Subarnarekha river. The rail goes to, then the railway goes to the Manoharpur. Manoharpur is on the, Manoharpur will be somewhere here, and Manoharpur is on the South Col river. Manoharpur is in the South Col river. Manoharpur, South Col river. South Col river meets Sank river. This is Mandira reservoir. This is the Rourkela, the steel city of Rourkela. This is the Sundargarh district, north of Sambalpur region. The railway line from Sini, and we saw Sini, that is the Saraikela and Karaswan princely state, Sini and Chakradharpur and Manoharpur comes to Rourkela. From Rourkela it goes to Jharsuguda. That is the, it need not cross the Mahanadi river. There is no need. We are not going that part. From Jharsuguda it goes to princely state of Raigarh, princely state of Sakti and Champa town. This is the Mahanadi Basin. That is the Bilaspur. Remember the central provinces, that is the Madhya Bharat at that time has the 5 divisions like Berar division, Chhattisgarh division and Narmada division and Sagar Demo, that is the Jabalpur region. It goes to Bilaspur. From Bilaspur the railway line goes to Raipur. Raipur is now the capital of Chhattisgarh province of India. from Raipur, it goes to Bhilai and Nandgaon. That is also called Raj Nandgaon. That used to be a princely state at that time. Remember, the Nagpur Chhattisgarh railway line stopped at Rajnandgaon. That was the meter gauge, and Bengal and Nagpur railway line converted that into broad gauge and made an extension to Asansol. Later, from Sini, it made other extension via Khड़gpur. The third part we are discussing. We are at Rajnandgaon or Nandgaon, Dongargarh. This is the Maikala mountain range. This is the Chhattisgarh Basin or Mahanadi Basin. We have Dongargarh somewhere here. We have seen that. And it goes to eventually Nagpur. That is the Bandara and Gondi. It doesn't go to Bandara, but Bandara road. It goes to Gondia, Tumsar, Bandara, Nagpur. This is the original. Then it goes to Wardha and Amravati. Actually, Badnera, a few kilometers from Amravati, Badnera, Akola and Malkapur. The Jalgaon, that's the where GIPR, Greater India Peninsular Rail, actually Bhusaval. Original railway junction was Bhusaval. Later, Jalgaon also became the railway junction because railway line was built to Dhulia and Nandurbar, those areas. That is not the point of discussion. Bhusaval. Remember, Bhusaval was a major junction. One railway track went to Nagpur, eventually to Asansol, Khharagpur, Howrah. Other railway track from Bhusaval went to Burhanpur Gap. This is the Satpura mountains. This is the Betul plateau. That is the Burhanpur, Khandwa. Khandwa will be somewhere here. Yeah, Burhanpur, Khandwa, Itarsi, Jabalpur. This is the Narmada, the Tapati valley here. We are in Jalgaon. This is Ajanta range. So there is a town called Nandgaon, the gap. This is the Ajanta range. This is the Chandor mountains. These are the Girna river will be here. Chalisgaon will be here. Malegaon and Nandgaon. Then Manmad in the Godavari valley. This is the Godavari valley because Nasik, right? Nasik and Gangapur and Pait and all these, Vaijapur. So the Manmad junction, one railway, the diversion went to Dhond, other went to Godavari valley. That is the Nagpur and Nanded via to Nizamabad to Nizam's territory, his capital Hyderabad. So it went to, from Manmad, the track continued to Nasik. Not actually Nasik, but Nasik road nearby. So then it crossed the Sahyadri mountain, Western Ghats, Igatpuri. Near Igatpuri, there is a pass called Talgat Pass, or also called Kasara Pass. There is a town somewhere called Kasara. Yeah, you can see the Kasara here. Then enters into, this is the Vaitarna plateau. This is the Ullas. This is the Ullas river. This is the Vaitarna river from Western Ghats, Sahya mountains. Then went to Bombay. This is actually an island. You see here, the Ullas river and Thane Creek. So it's a very big island. One of the most densely populated island on the planet Earth, like Singapore Island, and in New York town city is also a part of island, and all those big Waipin Island in near Alapi, and that is the Cochin and Ernakulam, those regions. The Salsette Island and Bombay originally, it was a British, the fort and fortifications across Basin or Vasai, originally an island. So we have seen that how this fascinating the railway system was built. That is the third part. So the first part we have seen the Bhusaval here, then Khandwa, then Narsimhapur and Jabalpur, Murwar Katni, and Satna, Mehar, Manikpur, Prayag, Allahabad, Tirthraj, South, Mirzapur, Chunar, and so on, Patna, and that we have covered already. And we can look that in little more detail where the second part, third part bifurcate in a different perspective. You see the Chakra Manohar Rourkelas, right? Rourkela, this is the South Col River and this is Senk River, Mandira Reservoir. Rourkela, this is the Manoharpur, this is the Birmitrapur mountain range here. And Chakradarpur, the railway line. And Sini and Sindri will be here. The one line, that main line went to the Chandil and Purulia, finally to Asansol. That is the part. other part from, it doesn't go to Chandil. Sini will be here, Sindri and Kandra. There is a complicated, the railway junctions are here in the modern time. So mainly the Sini, Golmuri, Jamshedpur. When you see Jamshedpur, just remember Golmuri. That is on Subarnarekha river. Ganga Ghat region will be here. This is the southern part of Arunachal, Jharkhand. And we have, it goes to Ghatsila, it goes to Jhargram, and it goes to Kharagpur. This is the Kasai river. It goes to Kharagpur, and this is the Rupnarayan river, Kolaghat. At Kolaghat, it crosses Rupnarayan river. This is the Bardhaman division of Bengal presidency. Finally goes to, this is the Howrah, where across the river Calcutta. That is the part. We can see this fascinating part in this perspective. We are talking about how the British connected Ganga Sagar, that is symbolically representing Howrah Hooghly here, Howrah Hooghly, there is Calcutta here, this is the Howrah Hooghly, and this is the Bardhaman division here, this is the presidency division, 24 Parganas, 24 Parganas, Rajmahal Hills, this is the Sahibganj loop, and we are looking at the Bombay Sunset Island here. The second line, this is the Asansol will be somewhere here. First line went to Asansol here, Asansol to Purulia. Then this is the Rourkela, right? Rourkela, Hirakud here. And the Kol river here, Manoharpur and Chakradarpur. And Jamshedpur, Golmuri should be on. This is the Subarnarekha river. Subarnarekha river, Sini and Golmuri and Jamshedpur. And it goes to Ghatsila, Chaibasa, Ghatsila, and Midnapur, Kharagpur, and Kolaghat. Kolaghat in the Rupnarayan here before hitting the Howrah. So here we can see, then it goes to Chhattisgarh Basin or Mahanadi Basin, Mahanadi River, Hirakud Dam, Sambalpur District, Kalhandi Basin here. Then we have Jharsuguda here. Jharsuguda, it goes to Raigarh Princely State and Sakti and Champa Town and Bilaspur. This is the Bilaspur. At that time, the central provinces is a Bilaspur district and Raipur district, and Rajnandgaon was the princely state, Kanker and all those, Karadwan and so on. So the Bilaspur and from later they built a railway line from Raipur, Mahasamund to Vijayanagaram and so on. So we are in Bilaspur, the Maikala range, Dongargar will be somewhere here, Wainganga range, and Nagpur somewhere here and Wardha. Then the railway line goes to Badre Ravati and goes to Murtajapur, Akola. Then at Bhusaval Junction, the bifurcates into Burhanpur, Khandwa and Jabalpur, so on, and then Jalgaon, and this is the Ajanta ranges, and this is the Ajanta ranges, this is the other mountains, Satmala and Chandur mountains, Gilna mountains, it's a Nandgaon gap, Manmad here, Godavari valley, and Sahyadri mountains, and Nasik will be somewhere here, Nasik road, Igatpuri, and we will have Kasara Ghat, and that is nothing but Talghat, and this is the Vaitharna plateau, and this is the Ullas plateau, Bombay Salhet Island. So these are the in the Utkal, Olinga, Orissa, Kalinga region, we have Subarnarekha river, and we have the Mahanadi river. This is the Rushikulya basin. This is the Meghashani mountains. This is the Malayagiri mountains. Meghashani is essentially Mayurbhanj district. This is essentially Kenjuhar district, and we have Vaitharna river here, Brahmani river here. There is a Bomai and Bamra and Birmutpur hills, and this is the Rourkela basin, and these are the eastern Ghats. That is about the fascinating third railway line, the British East India Company time or British Raj built across the central provinces, that is Madhya Pradesh and Berar region. We covered the three parts, the first, second and third part, and we look all these three parts in one perspective later. This is your presenter J. Reddy at South Asia Maps. Please subscribe our channel and bring the information to your friends and post your comments too, and criticisms and compliments and your expectations. Thank you very much. See you Mitrum and Bandhuam later.